now, the nobody saw it happen, but it's totally a product of Trump's America hoax hate crime of the week.
Ah, shit, it's backwards. You think they'll notice?
Well, just when you thought Pride Month was over, here's some spillover for you. In Kansas City, a gay activist named Justice Horn. No, he is not on the Supreme Court. His name is just Justice Horn. And he's running for Jackson County Legislature. That's county government in Missouri, apparently. At the top of his agenda is to create the city's first LGBTQ plus commission. Or the counties, I guess. Well, in any case, this would happen after getting elected and becoming the first gay person of color elected as a Jackson County legislator, of course. Horn had a large campaign banner on display on the 4600 block of Campbell Street. Now, I'm unclear if he actually has any connection to this property or if it's just a supporter of his. But the giant banner here shows Justice Horn over a Progress pride flag. But last weekend, Horn says someone vandalized the sign, writing "fag" in big black all caps letters over his face. Now, Horn, speaking with the local paper about this, says, "I don't know how much more blatantly that this was a hate crime." That's an awkward quote, but he's saying it was a blatant hate crime. It was specifically targeted at me because of my sexual orientation. He adds, "What bothers me the most is that it happened in broad daylight," which is a weird thing to say considering there is officially no knowledge of who did this or when. But it happened in broad daylight. No suspect identified, no certain time that this even occurred. Also, Horn has decided not to file a police report or take down the sign. Instead, he held a campaign press conference in front of the sign on Tuesday. Isn't it amazing how convenient that is for campaign purposes? And indeed, in a video interview with the Kansas City Star, Horn says the proper response from the community is to vote for a gay representative in county government. And it's funny, he just so happens to be that potential gay representative.
So you can't say that this isn't political, because it was a defacing of my political sign, as well as, a lot of the policy I fight for is, related to, being a black man, being an LGBT person, being a young person. But I think that this also signals to a lot of folk that, we're not as welcoming and forward thinking as we think we are, and we have a long way to go. But, the first place to start is to elect, finally some LGBT representation.
No. Is he wearing mascara?
I don't know. All I notice is that the smoke detector battery alert was going off in the background. You're a psychopath if you don't change that. You just let that beep. What the hell's wrong with you? How do you tolerate that?
People do that.
Ugh.
I don't know. Every time I hear one of these hoax hates, it makes my heart a little warm to think that maybe these things are happening. That maybe some of these things are true, right?
Well, the election is August 2nd, so very conveniently timed for him too.
Yeah.
There was one more subtle point in here. You make the point about what sports are gay. If there's one sport gayer than football, what is it?
Wrestling.
He is a former college wrestler, Justice Horn.
What's my rule on sport gayness level? No, what is it? You should know by now. If you can get into the 69 position with a man, your sport is too gay. If
you can or if you are required to?
If it happens with a certain frequency that I haven't established yet.
All right. So let's say this. Baseball player running home, sliding into home, kind of takes out the catcher as he's sliding into home. Theoretically,
Too obscure.
So that's not frequent enough.
No, but you're routinely in the 69 position in wrestling.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, other things like that.
All right, you heard it, jiu-jitsu guys. You are officially gay. Anyway,
Joe Rogan.
Meanwhile, in upstate New York, Brockport, this is outside of Rochester, a lesbian couple says somebody tore down their pride flag and threw a rock through their window.
Allison and her wife have lived in this Brockport community for nearly 10 years now and say they've never seen an incident like this happen before.
Yeah, we chose to do a pride flag this year because it's important my boys see that, this is us, this is our life, this is who we are. And unfortunately, this is also part of it.
Allison Perry Gurak is staying at home from work Wednesday, installing security cameras outside her home.
This morning, my wife had gotten up to go take the kids to daycare, and she went outside and she saw that the window was broken. She came back inside and yelled up the stairs for me. I came down, and we had noticed that the window was broken. There's a rock over there. This flag right here was thrown on the ground.
Allison tells me she's hoping to turn this incident into a learning lesson for her two children. She also says they're not going anywhere, and neither is the pride flag. A situation less than a week ago next door, however, is causing concern.
My fear is that it's going to escalate. I think that it started with the flag being ripped off from our neighbors, and now it's escalated to a rock being thrown through our window.
Good Lord. Who gave them kids?
Well, that is the central claim she's making. Oh, this is all to illustrate a point to my son. Okay. I'm sure your sons are well aware they have lesbian moms. Why would a flag on the front of your house make the point to them that they have lesbian moms? Why would an outward expression be a lesson to your sons? She says both putting up the flag was a lesson to her sons, but also the flag getting torn down was a lesson to her sons. I'm sensing a pattern here of planning and intent. But Brockport police have increased patrols in the area and are treating this incident as a hate crime. So far, no leads, no suspect identified.
I don't get this. I just don't believe that most lesbians are real. Like that chick, she loses 100 pounds. Some dude would have wifed her. Like, did she seem like a real genetic dyke to you?
I don't know. I have not done the analysis on the old chromosomes to find out.
So you have to think it's a manifestation of some man-hating thing, and then she has two sons. Like, she's treating them fairly. Like, they're going to turn out to be well-rounded individuals.
I also don't know the circumstances or ages of the sons. I don't know if they're teenagers. I don't know if they're very young. The story didn't specify.
Or if they were IVF, or if they were her former,
or
husband.
how she came into guardianship or motherhood of them.
Maybe she is a lesbian. She really was able to work that drill.
That's great at home improvement. Yeah.
So good at it.
Yeah.